zone. And I'm sure he will relish the opportunity as Tunisia come forward here. A little break, and instead they choose to play it back. Rooney looks long. It looked like a hint of handball there as Zemzem got a flick onto it. No decision made by the referee, and a rare touch in this game for Nadozie, who's seen precious little of it, the Nigerian goalkeeper, 24 years of age. Moved to English football last week when signing for Brighton and Hove Albion on a free transfer from Paris FC. He is Nigeria's, I should say Africa's best goalkeeper. Voted that twice in a row. What have you made of her move to go and play in England and after a decent spell in France, of course?
Well, I think it was time for her to move, if I'm totally honest, because she's been with the Paris FC for quite some time. I think it was time for her to move to maybe a bigger team. I expected her to probably move to Paris Saint-Germain or Lyon, or maybe one of those top teams in the UK.
And here she is, as Rooney just delivered that deep. Only a couple of Tunisian players forward for it, Zemzem and Germazi. And you would imagine they'll need a little bit more support if they're going to be able to breach this Nigerian back line. Or Halle. To Demahin. They're getting a lot of space at times for Nigeria on the flanks. Alozio pushing up very, very high. Here's Ayinde. Ajibade. A little bit of pace on that and picked up by the Tunisians. And here comes Germazi. Zemzem. Twisting one way, then the other. And into the middle it goes. Well, there was no one there. You can see the interplay between Zemzem and Germazi. I was saying it just a moment ago that they need a little bit more support. And they just need to get numbers forward because there's good interplay seemingly between the two.
Yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly, because you could see the combination between both of them, but then two of them cannot do it alone. They need to get more numbers up front, because the more numbers you have in the offensive area, the more likely you're going to get something out of an attack. So I think Tunisia need to really work on that.
Well, at Tunisia as well, I think they can be fairly enthused. I'll come to this field in a moment. Elozier down the right hand side, into the middle it goes, all the way across nearly the 6-yard box without anybody getting a touch on it. Plumtree now from distance, made it forward. Was it a shot? Was it a strike? That's a strike from Ajibade, and this was past the right hand post. And with nearly half an hour on the clock, 28 minutes or so, it is time for a cooling break here in Casablanca. And what I was going to say was that I'm sure that Tunisia were fearing the worst when they conceded that goal after just 4 minutes, as we see Ajibade's shot flash wide. But since then, Nigeria have actually not really forced Jabrani into a save in the Tunisian goal, and that can give them a little bit of belief that they can get back into this game.
Yeah, exactly. It can actually bring back the Tunisians' confidence, because I think so far Nigeria have really been, I wouldn't say wasteful, but I think we need to, connect pretty much when we get to the Tunisians' goal area, because we've had a couple of wrong passes in that final third. I think the coach needs to, talk to them about that. They need to be more patient when they get to the offensive area, and try not just crossing the ball like I saw the last action from Michel Alozie. You don't just cross the ball. Try and make sure you get to the target. You have somebody you're sending the ball to. If we can get that, I think we'll be able to connect all the attacks we've had so far. So if this continues like this, it can actually bring back the Tunisians' confidence to actually try and fight back.
Well, we see the goal again from Oshuala. I was going to say, you've obviously worked under Madugu for many years. How do you think he will do as a solo coach?
Well, I think he would do well. He's getting all the support he needs from the backroom staff. His coaching crew are there. There's also Pierre Pierre. He's Swedish. I was opportune to work with him sometime in the past, and I was happy they brought him back into the team with Pierre's experience as well. And I think, and also with Madugu's experience, they can combine together and make something positive out of the team.
So we are going to surely be back underway. It's a fairly unusual kick-off as well, with most of the Nigerian players barely on the field when Tunisia decide to kick it off. Awina to the right-hand side into Miriam Bayahia. She goes down and has won her side a free kick as well. There's have to be a fly on the wall in some of those team talks to hear exactly what is being passed on. Interested to hear the thoughts of Saba, the Tunisian. He said before the game that solidarity is the strength of his side. And they're going to have to show it. I'm just wondering what they would do if they could find a goal. Just the one win for them in their AFCON history. Their first appearance was in 2008 when they finished bottom of the group, a pretty tough group. Back then, with South Africa, Nigeria and Ghana, who were more of a force nearly 20 years ago than they have been in recent times. And then it was 14 years before the Tunisians appeared again in the tournament. And they beat Togo, as said, narrowly beaten by Zambia in their second game. Zambia only scoring in stoppage time to inflict defeat. And then a 2-0 loss against Cameroon before they met South Africa, the eventual winners in the quarterfinals. And they only went down by a 1-0 against the South Africans. So some positives there, the negatives that they have now gone over 400 minutes in this tournament without scoring. So that is the clear challenge for them. By Yahya, forward into Zemzem, who tried to play it into Gamazi. Hane with the clearance, and not a particularly good one for Nigeria. Here's Zemzem again, showing twinkling feet to try and work it through to Gamazi again. Ajiwade just hits it up over the halfway line for Nigeria. Not too impressed, I'd have thought, by the loose play at the back, and after that nice little bit of footwork, Sama Zemzem is down on the floor. She plays her football in France with Tonon Evian. She's hobbling a little bit, but it was just a clash with Ajiwade. 4 goals in qualifying for Zemzem. You were mentioning Paris Saint-Germain not so long ago, Desire, and Zemzem came up through the PSG youth system and French youth caps as well before switching to Tunisia a couple of years ago. Tunisia is just beginning to edge their way back into this game a little bit more. They're spending more time in the Nigerian half, they're winning free kicks, and they're getting more time on the ball.
Exactly, and that's the thing I spoke about earlier, that since Nigeria couldn't wrap this up earlier, it will definitely give the Tunisians confidence to fight their way back into this into the game, and that's what we're seeing at the moment.
Awina turning away from Oshuala. Plumtree comes forward to stop the ball getting into Zemzem. Only as far as a player in white. Betoumi back into the Tunisian skipper. Abessi. Shaima Abessi, 32 years of age now, but they've lost it in the middle of the park. Abiodun out wide to Payne. Ajibade ahead of her. She cuts inside onto her left foot. Tony Payne, and the strike lacked power. A comfortable save in the end for Jabrani. But it just opened up for Payne. She just didn't get enough power on the strike.
Yeah, she didn't. I expected her to do better. Playing. If you're gonna shoot, you should probably have more power behind the ball, or maybe pick a spot and place it over or beside the goalkeeper. Stuff like that. I expected better from her.
Tony Payne on the books of Everton ladies in England. I imagine her and Dozier will be having a few conversations. Oh, that was a nice pass forward from Payne into Oshuala, who just couldn't control it. Swung, missed, it hit her standing leg. And looked a bit more promising. Plumtree fighting hard. So, Zemzem dispossessing her. And Zemzem too hard for the likes of the referee in Nigeria. They have a free kick which they take in quickly. Ohale, based in Mexico with Pachuca. Ajibade, with Atletico Madrid in Spain for a while. Allende. Ajibade, into the middle it goes and just sailed over the outstretched arm of Sulaima Jabrani. Dangerous ball in, but she had space to do better than that, and we've come to expect far better than that from her as well.
Exactly. That's what I said earlier. We need to, connect these balls, make sure we make them count. And I mean, that was obviously a very poor ball. We really need to do better when it comes to those crosses.
You might have let her know your thoughts if she had delivered it like that into you.
Of course.
A big sheepish smile on the face of Operanosier. This is a nice turn. Oshuala going into the middle. Same with a difficult heart, just bouncing right in front of Jabrani. And the 28-year-old doing well to smother it, and instantly she rolls it out to Awina. Tunisia looking to play it out from the back. This time she goes long and in the air up towards Zemzem. I'm not sure that's the best ball to play forward to Zemzem against the height of Plumtree. And here's Plumtree again. Forward into Abiodun, looking for Oshuala, who's on the charge. Little options inside her. And Huade just on the edge of the D. Abiodun trying her luck from distance, and that's not the cleanest strike either. And she needs to just about get this away. Betumi. That's careless. Oshuala, Abiodun onto her left. This is a lovely play from Abiodun, and she's forced a really good save as well from Jabrani, who had to get down low. It just opened up for Deborah Abiodun, the 21-year-old, and she ghosted through onto her left. And she didn't get the power she would have wanted. Unselfish play from Oshuala. And she got a shot away and a smart save in the end.
Yeah, that was a good move from Abiodun. Very clever move. And she should have, had more power behind the ball. I'm sure it would have gone in, but that was a very clever move from her.
Well, N'Golo Conte is not exactly known for his goal scoring, so perhaps we can excuse Abiodun as well.
Of course.
And Jibade, dispossessed by Gamazi, and then she reacts by hauling down the 23-year-old Tunisian. It's those front two, Gamazi and Zemzem, who are causing most of the problems, and it'll be really interesting to see if Tunisia do bring on the likes, I said, of Sabrina Luzi and Mariam Ouij, and if they can play up top with them and cause some problems, or one wonders if they might have some knocks that they're carrying into this tournament. Plumtree with a really important header to stop that getting all the way through to Zemzem. There's Haj Hamoud playing a little 1-2 with Bai Yahia. And then she's clipped as well in another free kick, to the dismay of Abiodun. Puts her hands in her head in frustration. And also, I think, possibly a bit of concern. You don't want to be making too many fouls when you're on a yellow, of course.
I totally agree with you. She really needs to be very careful. We can't afford to lose her in this game. So she needs to be very smart with her tackling and her decisions.
So Rooney with the delivery for Tunisia. On this occasion, she leaves it, though, and steps away and just trudges back over the halfway line. 5. Her teammates on the edge of the Nigerian area. Out comes Nadosia. That's a really solid punch. She took the Tunisian player as well as she did so. And she's still down on the floor. And not for the first time. The player in white beating the ground in discomfort. And immediately the medical team ushered onto the pitch as well. It was a very solid clearance from Nadozie. She didn't mind too much that Awina was in her way, but that's what you want to see from your goalkeeper. And fell very, very awkwardly, did Rania Awina, the 31-year-old. Well, she's going to need a bit of treatment, but decisive goalkeeping at the very least.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, taking control of your goal area as a goalkeeper, most especially with aerial duels, I think that's one of your primary assignment as a goalkeeper, and she did absolutely well in this aspect. And I think now that she's marked her territory, going forward, that striker would dare not to, come close and all of that. So I think she did absolutely well in that regard.
Well, Kamel Sada, the Tunisian coach, is having a word with the refereeing crew to express his displeasure at the forceful nature of Nadozie's challenge on Awina, who's 31 years of age and plays her football in Saudi Arabia. This second WAFCON, who made the move to Saudi Arabia last year after 6 seasons in Europe, playing in France, Austria and Romania. One of the more seasoned and experienced internationals in this Tunisian side. Over a decade with the North Africans, who are, lest we forget, taking on the top-ranked side in Africa. Nigeria first on the continent, 36th overall. Tunisia 11th on the continent. Nigeria, Desire says, need to get their passing game together, slicker passing, and possibly they've been lulled into a full sense of expectation, thinking they're going to have a lot of time on the ball as they did in the opening half hour or so. And it's nice at the back, but you don't expect that from Oshuala, who just gave it away. Looking to bring in Babajide, but she just hadn't made the run. Babajide, Ayinde now. Alozie just chops her shoulder and goes past Batumi. And it'll be a Nigeria throw as we edge towards half-time. A game which Nigeria started strongly, and then midway through the half, Tunisia began to get some sort of a foothold in. Bahale. Ayinde, Plumtree in space to her left. Here is Plumtree. To Abiodun. Nice little turn from her. Trying to play it into Oshuala. Najibade pick this up and keep it in and play it down the line to Alozie. To the byline she goes, Alozie. She just made a little touch on Rooney as she went through, and Rooney back up on her feet. No foul awarded. How would you describe playing in these opening games? As always, the key is not to lose. What sort of mindset have you taken into these games when you played in them?
Oh, it comes with a lot of pressure. It's your first game. You're really not too sure of what to expect. Pressure is on you, and you want to do better. You want to grab all 3 points, so you'll be confident going into the next game. So it comes with a lot of pressure, and we can see. I think that's one of the factors the Super Falcons are facing right now. I think it's part of what's affecting them. Why they haven't really gotten to connect pretty much well in the offensive third. I think these first games, they come with a lot of pressure.
You might be explaining something that stuttering start, let's say, from Nigeria. It's not been all bad by any stretch of the imagination, but they've yet to fully click. But teams obviously develop over the course of the tournament. After today, Nigeria take on Botswana on Thursday before finishing the group a week today in this stadium against Algeria. Tunisia, meanwhile, they'll meet their fellow North African rivals on Thursday before they face Botswana in their final game. Botswana, the lowest rated team according to football's world governing body FIFA in this competition, but they made it to the quarterfinals last time around, so it won't be easy for them. Oshuala just trying to take advantage here. In she is, Oshuala, striker goal, and really smart defending by Rooney, who was alert to the danger because Oshuala suddenly found herself in behind, and she managed to get her shot away, but it looked like there was little on, and then she managed to wriggle through, and it was good defending. She did exactly what she needed to do.
Yeah, I think that was a corner kick. She didn't get the final touch, and it was, because I'm sure she would have done better if she had had the opportunity to pull the trigger. Well, good move by her, by the way.
Yeah, good movement, right idea to come inside.
Yeah,
but equally good defending as well, as
exactly
from Rooney, who's another who plays her football in Saudi Arabia with Eastern Flames, and she's all over the pitch, the left back for. Here she is on the ball. She was named in the group phase best 11 at the last tournament, and she's certainly making her presence felt today as well. There'll be 5 additional minutes at the end of this opening period. Abiodun down the left-hand side. Babajide under pressure. That's well played from her. Babajide. Now can she find the pass into Tony Payne? Into the middle it goes. And I'm not sure she looked. She just played it in and hoped. Plumtree trying herself now to make some space. Payne has come through to Babajide. Babajide has goal, and Babajide doubles Nigeria's lead in first half stoppage time. And finally, Nigeria get a little bit of a cushion. They have huffed and they have puffed, and they scored a goal right at the start of the first period, and they scored in stoppage time at the end of the first half as well. And a moment for Babajide to celebrate. You celebrated, and very happy to see Nigeria get a little bit of daylight between them and Tunisia.
Yes, I think this is what we need in the team. You could say she knew what she wanted to do with that ball. She forced her way through the defense, and she knew she was going to pull that trigger, and you could see the way she moved, and you could tell that ball was going in. No delay, no second thought about it, and I think that's what we need in that defense. Well done, bravo, what a great goal that was, and I mean, what a time to have that goal before the end of the first half.
Absolutely, the timing could not have been better for Nigeria, could not have been worse for Tunisia, and I'm sure it's going to change the half-time team talk for Sada, the coach, and just having a word with an official there. He's really happy about something, but he's I think more frustration than anything serious, because he made his point and let it go down. You can see it on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen that Tunisian coach in the CAF. Well, here it is actually. Perhaps he's right, because what I saw from him was him making the now very familiar sign of VAR. We are going to go to VAR, and Gamal Sada will feel possibly vindicated as the referee comes over to look and to see. Let's have a look. Coming through. I think we need to go back a little bit before that to see anything wrong. There's certainly no hint of offside here. See what he's complaining about. I wonder if they just need to take it back even further.
Maybe he's insinuating that there was a foul on this player. I think. Yes.
In the middle, exactly.
Yeah.
Oshuala, I think it was on Rooney. And that's what he's complaining about, but they're not impeding with the game, let's be honest, or the action. The decision to be made. She's taking her time to make it. An official from Burundi. Last night there was a VAR incident in the Moroccan game, but we never got to see it, but we're seeing it here time and again. Well, she's made her decision. What will it be?
It's a goal. Well done. Good decision. Bravo. Great decision. Because, I mean, she didn't interfere with play, and there was really nothing.
So a goal stands, and the Super Falcons are 2 goals to the good. This is former Nigeria international. So no interference in the middle of the park, and well, the coach made his point, and he got it checked as well. He can't ask for more than that.
Of course.
And the benefit of the VAR crew and the officials deciding it should stand. Could be even worse as this first period goes on. Options in the middle. Oshuala is one of them in there. They're delivering the cross. Ajibade now. Nigeria finishing the half strongly. Cleared away. Tunisian Hashush, but he's still with the Nigerians. Ajibade is trying to win this back. Find a bit of space in a very crowded area. That taking a deflection, got behind for a corner. Oshuala looking for her second of the game. Looped up off Rooney. And as I said, the Super Falcons ending this half really strong, buoyed by that second goal. Oshuala just one touch to the side to make the space. Once again, not a bad bit of defending from Rooney.
I think the Tunisians got lucky there.
A lot is in that 6-yard box, as you can see. Well to do for Tunga, the Indian official. He's going to have to have more than one set of eyes if she's going to keep her eyes on all those players. And that's 14 in that small 6-yard area. So the final moments of this opening half. Play. Record African champions. 3 into the goal it goes. And it's been ruled out, I believe. Confusion. Well, the Nigerian players don't know whether to celebrate or not. The Tunisian players are just walking away as if the goal has not been given. I think it has been ruled out. She had a decision to make, so Humphrey looking aggrieved. I wonder if this might go to VAR as well. Well, she just went in to challenge. Jabrani, the goalkeeper, didn't get too much on it, let's be honest. The ball is in the back of the net, and still they are pleading their case. Some Nigerian players, Oshuala leading the charge, so too the skipper, Ajibade. I think let's see. Go back to the VAR screen. There's a word in her ear, as you can see. There is a VAR check as well. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it should be a goal, because there was really no contact against the goalkeeper. I think that goal should have stand.
Well, you said a few moments ago.
Well, that's what is allowed. Good contact on the keeper. As finicky as it was ruled a no goal. So it is 2-0 with the lead the goal at 45+1 of the first half. Giving us a score 2-0 after the first half. We'll take a short break. We'll take it back here and score to the highlights in the first half.
Beverly es una compañía que busca soluciones para clientes con deuda.
Tenía una deuda de $34,000.
La primera vez que nos llaman, nuestros clientes pueden esperar una oportunidad para poder resolver sus deudas y comenzar a ver la solución de sus problemas financieros.
La primera vez que llamé, la persona que me atendió fue como un amigo, no como un vendedor.
Ya sea deuda de tarjetas de crédito, médica o préstamo personal, National Debt Relief negocia con sus acreedores para reducir la cantidad que debe.
Que sientan que hay una persona ayudándoles, que sí les interesa, que tienen un corazón.
Me encantó trabajar con ellos. Tú estás hablando con una persona real, no una máquina.
Nosotros nos enfocamos en ayudar, preparamos un plan